Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this two-piece dress, a monostrap dress and an organdy top. If this is what you're interested in, keep watching, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. So to get started, we start by drafting our upper bodies, our basic upper bodies. We'll have to do the monostrap dress first before the organdy top. So this draft is for the monostrap dress, and my pattern is on fold. I've already traced it out on the other part, so I just opened it up so that we can do the alteration and continue. So for the alteration, we're going to start with the front. So for the front, we're going to start by raising the armhole. I'm going to raise the armhole by 1 inch. This is to enable this dress if I'm going to wear it, or if we're going to wear it like that without the organdy top, so that your armpit area will not be open. So I just raised it up by 1 inch, and then I'm going to just connect it to the neckline. But before then, I want to move the neckline backward by 2 inches. So I moved my neckline backward by 2 inches, and then I just connected it with my free hand like this. So you see, I moved my neckline by 2 inches on that shoulder part, and then connected to the 1 inch that we marked on the armhole. So I just wanted to cut out remove the back so that I can be able to do what I want to do here. So on this other side too, I went up by 1 inch so that it will match with what we're doing, and then I'm going to blend it back to the armhole later. So I just opened up the darts because now we need to transfer this darts, because if you check the pattern itself, if you check the dress itself, sorry, you will notice that there's no line for that. It was not sewn, and it was not sewn, and it's not visible. So it means that we're going to eliminate the darts and transfer it to the shoulder. So I just cut open my waist dart, and then I closed up my side dart. I'm going to use my glue to just keep it in place. So this is me just putting my glue to keep it in place, that it won't shift while we're doing the draft. You can use your normal paper tip. I don't have a paper tip around, so I decided to use this glue. So any of them can work. So just to glue it down or hold it down somehow. So okay, so we're done. Then I'm going to also close my waist dart. I'm going to go ahead and close my waist dart, but before then I want to now create my lines on my shoulder, where I'm going to open it up at the shoulder point, because I'm transferring all the darts to the shoulder point. I'm moving all the darts to the shoulder point. So I'm just marking random lines anyway, just to connect to the apex points. I'll go ahead and open it up like this. Open it up. So when we close the waist dart, we'll have it open like that. See? So I'll go ahead and close my waist dart at this point. And then you match the first dart leg with the last dart leg. Match the dart legs together and hold it down. I'll do the same thing to this other side. Add my glue and then match the first dart leg to the last dart leg. So I've succeeded in moving the darts from the waist and from the side to the shoulder. So this is what it looks like. See? So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Go ahead and cut it out if you notice, I've actually made a mistake to cut out my 1 inch um armhole raise that I did on the armhole point. So I'll go back and attach it, please. Don't ignore it. I'll go ahead and attach it back on the other side. I forgot and I just cut it out. So I'll just go ahead and use this paper to attach it back there to give that my 1 inch raise that I did initially. So this is me just attaching my paper. So I'll go ahead and raise it up by that 1 inch and then blend it back to the armhole like this. So this is basically it for the front. It's a very simple draft. This is basically it. So just cut out the draft, the remaining parts, remaining excess, just cut it off. So that's that for the front. We'll go ahead and work on the back and then cut on fabric. So this is the back. This is the back. So we're going to start by doing the same raise on the armhole point, 1 inch raise, so that it cannot also match with the front. So I'll go ahead and connect my neckline to that 1 inch raise I did on this side. So that's it. And then I'll blend this other part, blend the armhole back to my normal armhole, blend that 1 inch raise back to my normal armhole. So this is it. I forgot to put my dart on this other part of the draft, so I'm just going ahead to impute my dart. I did not trace that out when I was tracing it, so I just went ahead to mark it out. So that's the dart. And next I'm going to go ahead and raise the dart straight to meet up with my asymmetric neckline like that. And then at both sides of the lining at the top I took 0.25 at both sides at that place. So I'm just going to close it up, and then that will be it for that part. So for this other part, we're moving the dart to the neckline because we're going to have a zipper, so it's going to be cut into two. So only moving one side of the dart to the shoulder, unlike the front that will move both of them to the shoulder. So just watch, you will understand what I'm doing. So at the neckline, remember at the front I came back by 2 inches, so I'm doing the same thing so that we'll have the necklines to be equal, and then I just blended it up like that. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. Cut it out. Just pay attention to the drafts and you will understand what I'm doing. So I'm just cutting it off like this. So I'll go ahead and also remove the darts, the dart at the zip tightening. So this dart I'm taking out is the one for the zip tightening. So I've taken it out because we're going to have a zipper. It's going to be in twos like this, in two like this. So I'm closing up the darts on this other side because we don't want to sew up anything and we don't want to open up any darts. We don't want any dart to be anywhere, so I'm closing it up like this. See, just watch and close up the darts. Close it up like this. So this is it for that side, one side of the back. See, so that's how we're going to place it and cut. So this other one, we're moving the dart to the shoulder like this. So I just slashed it open and then I'll close my darts and then have that space, which means I have moved it to the shoulder. So this is the back. I'll go ahead and cut this on fabric. This is the front and that's the back. I'll go ahead and cut them on fabric and then we'll continue. So this is it. I've cut it out on fabric. This is the back and this is the front. So just set this aside and go ahead and cut the lower part. So to cut the skirt part, which is the lower part, I use a fabric, a stretchy fabric, velvet. I use velvet for it. So I just folded on the stretchy part. I make sure the fold is on the stretchy part. It means that the hip line is going to be on the stretchy part. So I'm just marking out my hip point and my knee line, my waist to hip and my waist to knee, and then I'm placing my waist measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to add 1 inch to that. Waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch, my hip divided by 4 plus 1 inch, and then I'll take whatever I have on that hip point and bring it to the knee point and take out 1.5 from it for penciling. So I'll just go ahead and connect the lines like this. It's just a normal skirt, a simple skirt. I have a tutorial on how to draft a proper skirt on this channel. You can go ahead and search for it and watch. So I'll take whatever I have here, I'll take it all the way down to the length of the skirt. Whatever I have here, I'll move it all the way to the length of the skirt. I'm just marking it out, like what I measured before was not correct, so I was just correcting it. So I just picked the same thing, everything I have on that knee line, I am extending it to the full length of my skirt. And the full length of this my skirt, I used 34 inches. So this is the front. I'll just go ahead and cut it. I didn't add that on the waistline. Note, I did not add any dots on the waistline. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So for the back, I just folded my fabric into two, like I did for the front, and then I took the front skirts that I cut initially and I placed it on that fold. So I'm just using it to mark out my hip line and my knee line like this. Hope you can see it. So on the waist measurement, I just added 1/2 inch, and then on the hip measurement I added 1 inch, and then on the knee line I'm going to add just 1/2 inch. This is just a freehand method I use to cut my skirts. And I have a perfect fit when I'm done with this. So if you want a detailed tutorial on this freehand method of cutting skirts, do let me know in the comment section and I'll make a video of it. But this is how I get my perfect skirts with my freehand. So this is basically it. Just add 1/2 inch on the waistline, 1 inch on the hip line, and 1/2 inch on the knee line. Note that I'm adding these things because this fabric is actually stretchy. If I'm to use a non-stretchy fabric, I'll be adding something else to it, not this 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So I'll just go ahead and cut it out. But if you're using a stretchy fabric, please, this is going to work for you if you're using a stretchy fabric. So I'll go ahead and cut it off like this. So this part is a zip part. This part we added 1 inch and 1/2 inch is a zip part. The other part, I'm just going to trace whatever we have in front. I'll just trace it out and cut it like that. So I'll just trace out that part with the front and cut it off. I hope you understand this. It's quite simple. And note, we did not add any dots to the skirts. We didn't add any dots to the skirts. So this is it. So I'm done cutting and tracing out. I'm going to just notch my zip points because I'm going to have curvy parts on the two sides. So I'm going to notch my zip so that I'll be able to know that this is where I'll put my zip. So I just give a small notch there. Then I removed the back and I brought back the front to eliminate any kind of fold or any kind of puff we're going to have at the lower part of our waistline. I just came down by 1 inch from the waistline and then I'll connect like this with a slight curve to the other sides, just like this, and then I'll just cut it out. So this will help eliminate any folds or anything on the skirt. So we're going over to sewing, and this is my front upper bodice and my back upper bodice that I've cut out already. I'm just taking out the pins from the paper, taking out the pins, so I will continue sewing. So this is the shoulder part that we moved our dart to. So I'm going ahead to pleat the shoulder points to our initial shoulder that was supposed to have, and that shoulder was supposed to be like 3 inches, and then we're supposed to have ½ inch on both sides for turning the neckline and turning the armhole. So at the end of the day I'm supposed to have like 4 inches or thereabouts. So I'm pleating it back to 4 inches. So yes, I'm done pleating, and I'm just trying to measure it out if I'm going to have 4 inches. So that's it, 4 inches. When I was done pleating, I had 4 inches. So I'll go ahead and bring the other side of the back like this. I'll go ahead and sew 1.5 inch. Remember, I added 1 inch as sewing allowance, but I'll go ahead and sew 1.5 inch because it's a bodycon dress. So this is the back, or the other side of the back. I'll go ahead and pleat the shoulder to align with the shoulder for the front, and then I'll go ahead and sew with ½ inch. And so this is it. I was done sewing the shoulder. See, I sewed with ½ inch, and then I sewed the sides with 1.5 inch. So this is the full upper bodice, the front and the back, like this. So I'll go ahead and cut a strip, and then I'll use it to turn the neckline. I'll use that as bias to pipe the neckline. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the strip from the fabric. Now use it to pipe the neckline. I also use it to pipe the armhole as well, because we are not going to have any sleeve on it. So we need it to look clean and fine. So I'll go ahead and use this piece of fabric to pipe the neckline and the armhole, and then I'll bring it back to show you what it actually looks like. So I'm piping both the front, from the front to the back and all that. So this is it. I've piped it. I've piped the neckline from the front to the back, and then I've also gone ahead to pipe the armhole. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to cut out that excess that I have there. Yes. So I'm going to bring back the skirts. We're going to work on the lower part now. I'll bring the skirts, and then I'll join the sides. Join the sides with 1.5 inch. Even though we use 1 inch as sewing allowance, but because we are working with a very stretchy fabric, I'm going to sew with 1.5 inch so that we can have a perfect fit on the dress. So I'll sew with 1.5 inch on the sides, and go ahead and also close the zipper area. I'll go ahead and sew the sides, both sides, and then close the zipper area too. I'll leave just the space for the zip. I'll leave the space for the zip, and then I'll close up the remaining part. So this is it. I've sewn it. I've sewn the sides, and I've also gone ahead to close the zipper area. I left just the part where the zip is going to stay. So I'll go ahead and join the front and the back. So this is it. I have joined the upper part to it. I've joined the upper part to it, and our gown is ready. There's nothing else. We're done with this. We're practically done with this dress. So this is our gown. It's ready. It's very easy to make, and that's the full length. We just joined. I'll go ahead and put my zipper now, and that'll be all for this dress. And then I'll fold it down as well. So that'll be all for this dress. So let's go ahead and work on the top. So for the top, I've already drafted my pattern without that. I drafted my pattern without that. This is the back and this is the front. I drafted this pattern just normal without that. Then because I want it to be free, I also added sewing allowances to it. My sewing allowance I added was 2.5 inch, but when I want to sew, I'm going to sew it 1 inch. It means that I have 1.5 inch as is. And at the top part of this draft, I left 3 inches upwards. So we'll see what we're going to use it for now. So for the neckline, let's work with the front. I'll mark on that shoulder point, neckline point there. Just extend this neckline first. Let's extend it like this. So on that extended line, I'm going to come in 1/2 inch and go out 1/2 inch and go out 1/2 inch. So I'll go ahead and mark that point I marked 1/2 inch. I will extend the line upwards like this. I'll go again and then I'll mark the how high I want the collar to be, and I want it to be 2 inches. Then I'll come in by 0.25 on that point and then connect that my 0.25 to my first 1/2 inch that I made, so that we'll have a slanted line like this. So I'll go ahead and square up this line, square it up like this. Then I will come up on my initial neckline by 2 inches, come up by 2 inches. I marked my initial neckline was 3 by 3, so I came up by 2 inches, so having like 1 inch, and then I'm going to use my armhole curve to just curve that neckline, and then I will connect the line back to the 1/2 inch we drew the first time. I don't know if you get this, just watch and understand. So that's the neckline. We blended it back to the 1/2 inch we got before. So let's work on the back. Maybe you get to understand it more as well, because we're practically doing the same thing. So I'll extend the line like this. Then I will mark 1/2 inch forward and 1/2 inch backwards like this. 1/2 inch forward and 1/2 inch backward. On that 1/2 inch forward I will mark, we're going to extend that with the ruler upwards, and then mark the length of our collar. Mine is 2 inches. Then on that point I'm going to go in again by 0.25. Can you see it? Then I will use my ruler to connect the slanted line, that's 0.25 points to that point like that. So this neckline is the back, so I'm just doing 1 inch for it, and then I'll connect like this, and then I'll connect this back to my 1/2 inch that will move backward. Just blend the line back like this. So this is it. This is all for the drafts. We'll just go ahead and cut it out and cut it on fabric. So let's cut this out. So just watch how I'm cutting it so that you know the neckline we're using. So you see, cutting it off like this. So this is it. We're done cutting them out. This is the back and this is the front. So I'll just go ahead and cut these pieces like this, cut it on fabric, and then we'll proceed to sewing our top. So this is how it's going to just blend like that. So cut it on fabric and then continue. So this is it. This is both of them, the front and the back, and I opened the slit at the back for my back button so that I will have a button there for easy wear. So I'll go ahead and join the shoulders, and then I'll cut this strip to pipe the neckline from the back to the front, from my opening towards the back and the front. So this is it. I've already piped it. See, this is the front and that's the back. I used an organza fabric, but if you have access to organdy, you can go ahead and use an organdy. So this is for my sleeve. I just measured 30 inches by 30 inches. It's a square fabric. I measured 13 inches by 13 inches. So I'll just go ahead and pleat it on the shoulder. I'll just go ahead and place it like this on the shoulder and come back and show you what it looks like. So I just basically place it like this, just no more pleats all the way to the end of the armhole, and I'll do the same thing to the other side and come and show you. So this is it. I've joined the sleeve to the shoulder area, then I cut out the strip measuring 11 inches by 7 inches width. Depending on your sleeve, your round sleeve at the length of your blouse, at length of your sleeve length, sorry. So it depends. So you have to measure yours and then add sewing allowance. So that was what I did for this one. I'll just go ahead and pleat this lower part of the sleeve on this strip that we'll cut out. I'll pleat it from the back coming to the front, and then I'll fold it in front, just like you do to your waistband. So this is it, so that we'll have a neat finishing. I've done it and then I close the side. I've gone ahead to do the same thing. I've joined the sides with 1 inch, and then I'll put my button loop, and that's it, guys. This is it when I was done sewing, and it's looking so pretty, so fine. If this tutorial was helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, please. Thank you.